Hey guys, DJ here with GameTime Michigan. And I know it's been a minute since I've got a video out there. I've been really busy, holiday season here at the store, getting ready for Black Friday sales, all that. Just been kind of wrapped up in a few things lately. But this was, and I do know that there's a bunch of videos that I need to get out. One of the important ones that I'm looking forward to getting out and updating is my collection challenge. There's been a lot of positive and forward movement on that, so I'm looking to get an update video on that hopefully in the next couple of weeks here, because that's something I am excited about. But for today, I had to make a video. Felt I had to anyways, talking about the current state of the TCG market and what's kind of been going on over the last 4 to 8 weeks here. And this is a conversation we've been having at the store with my customers that come in here, especially the collector investor types. Almost daily here, really it has been daily, especially the last couple of weeks, on what's going on and why prices are the way they are and things like that, right? So first thing that I want to say is it's felt like card game wise, and you could really feel it in Pokemon at the beginning, but now you're really kind of seeing it in take hold across all these different other ancillary card games too, right? Like Magic is a big one. Lorcana's decent with it. You're seeing some retro Yu-Gi-Oh increase, but I wanted to talk about where the market's trending, what's going on with it. So probably most of this year, at least, you could argue that we've been in a bull market. Like I said, Pokemon, it's been much more noticeable. Towards the beginning of the year, we had all the Lost Origin singles prices go up in price. We're seeing older sealed boxes. I shouldn't say older, but like modern vintage boxes go up in price. Your singles generally moving up. 2-3 months ago, we had 151 had a big move. Looking at the singles there, your cards, depending on which cards you had, they could have doubled in price or slightly more. That was one where the 151 Charizard, it was stuck for a good 6-7 months. It couldn't get over $130 a card. And, there were recent sales that I've seen and heard of as high as $299 on that card. And I think it's cooled off a little bit since then, but I think it's still sitting around $200, which is a lot to move after being stagnant for so long. So we have seen that. Excuse me. Seems like I'm always sick this time of year, still trying to get over something. But anyways, after this 151 spike, then we've seen the big one, the one that we talk about a lot here at the shop, is Surging Sparks and what's been going on with that. So for those of you that don't know, at least this is what I was told by my distributors, right behind the scenes, Pokemon Company, they shipped less of it out than other more recent booster box products, right? So did they print less? Were they keeping more in backs, for other things? Like, did they want to keep more packs for the different collections they do and not booster boxes? But on our booster boxes, we were cut pretty heavy, and it sounds like across the board, most stores got less than they were expecting or had got with previous set products, right? So, on top of that, there was an increased demand because the big chase card out of it is a big Pikachu, right? So you've got less supply, you've got more demand, and it creates for some crazy shenanigans. This was the first set in recent memory, at least since I've been open here, that we've seen really kind of run the way it did online before release. Most sets, they'll release and you'll see them sit for between $100 and $110 online, right, per box. I mean, Scarlet Violet Base has been that way for since its release, right? Surging Sparks. I'm a pre-release store, or I'm an organized play store, so I get to run pre-releases. I get to sell product a couple of days early, and on my early release day, which was November 4th, if I'm not mistaken, worldwide release I think was the 8th, but on November 4th, the pre-order boxes were pushing like 155, 160 on TCG Player. By the time worldwide release hit, we were looking at They were what, in the 170s, 180s. They were around 170, right? And here we are a couple weeks later. Surging Sparks has broke 200 a box, and at the as the time of filming this video, which is November 27th, day before Thanksgiving here in the U.S. They're like 210 on TCG Player. I think you can get lucky and find them slightly cheaper on eBay sometimes, but yeah, TCG Player cheapest is like, I think it's 210, 209 right now, and it's just one of those things where there's a couple boxes, people that have the sealed product that's getting added every day on TCG, but even just on TCG Player, you're still seeing between 50 and 100 boxes sell a day. Like this price increase isn't slowing anything down in terms of buying, or it's not slowing it down enough, right? So looking at this is something where, and then the singles too, right? This is something I should touch base with. The Surging Sparks singles were, I think the Big Chase Pikachu was like $350 during pre-release era, and it was like, wow, it's $350. That's cool. It got that high. It's going to come right back down, but it didn't. No, you're seeing sales, $700 plus for raw and like $3,000 plus for a PSA 10, and that's just like, what the heck is going on here? It's scary in a way, right? And we've kind of, these last couple of months, we've really moved into the hardcore, like we are deep in a bull market for trading cards right now. This is, I've been doing this for 25 years, and this is one of the craziest markets I've ever seen. For the card world, right? The recent COVID market comes to mind, but that was more due to just the product was harder to get because factories weren't printing, right? Pokemon Company's printing at full force. All this stuff is being printed at full force, and you're still seeing what's going on with the cards. And also more recently, you look at where crypto is. Bitcoin, I haven't checked it today, but last couple of days it's been flirting with 100K, right? So you're seeing Bitcoin rise, you're seeing other market sectors rise, you see the stock market rise, you're seeing the cardboard rise too, right? And the one thing people aren't thinking a lot about with the crypto rise, you're seeing a lot of people cash out some of their crypto profits and lock it in, and just purchase investments, like houses or cardboard, things like that with them. I mean, I've had more crypto requests for payment here in the last 2 to 3 weeks than I have all year. So you're seeing that more. And then we're at the point where it's not even just Pokemon anymore. Looking at Magic, the collector boxes for Magic, there's several collector boxes for Magic that have ran this year and more recently the last couple of months. You're seeing all these serialized boxes with serialized cards hit these all-time highs. The big one to talk about is the Lord of the Rings Holiday Special, and that's just a box that nobody has. Nobody liked the set. They all thought it was a dud, right? I know there was a lot of stores that passed on purchasing some, and even the customers that I had here, my Magic customers, not that I have a lot of Magic collectors in here, but none of my Magic collectors wanted anything to do with that set. And a couple of weeks ago, it hit 1K a box. As of the filming of this video, it's at like 1480 or something like that on TCG Player. And as far as sealed cases of it go, the 6-box cases, there's 3 on TCG Player right now, three full cases, and I think the cheapest one was 8,500. It's like 8,500 is one, and then like 12,500, and then 15,900. So this is insanely hard to get, and the time period between the 1K and 1,500 mark has been just a matter of a few weeks here, which is crazy to see. There's no inventory. It's all been flushed out. I would be surprised if more than a couple of thousand sealed boxes exist on the market right now. And I don't think, as far as like what's inside of it, you have serialized cards that are going for like 5 to 10K a pop or more, right? Depending on which ones you have. So there's really, there's nothing to stop this run. There's going to be nothing that stops this run. It's going to go until people don't want to buy it anymore. And, there's not going to be like a flood of boxes on the market or anything like that. You might see one tiny little sell-off around 2,000 a box, but I I think right now things are going to keep trending upwards with it, and there's will be little resistance to stop it, right? You're seeing growth with other card games too, like Weiss is good, Sorcery's having good numbers on things. Their most recent set is in a little bit of a downturn, but I think the issue with that is just it's a brand new set. People are, Arthurian Legends, people keep cracking it. So you're seeing like the singles go down a little bit, and obviously the boxes go down a little bit too with that. But their alpha and beta sets are very strong price-wise. The singles have, there's a good robust single market for that too. What else? Game we started carrying somewhat recently here, last couple of months, Illustrals. I like a lot of what Illustrals is doing. I think it's a newer Kickstarter game. It's still small. It's like super small scale. I love how the game plays. It feels like there's a lot of meaningful decisions and interaction with how it plays. And on the collector side of things, there's serialized cards in every set. You have serialized to 99 cards and serialized to 10 cards. So I think that helps a lot with the collectability of the game. I love when games do that. So I see a strong future for the game as long as it continues on the the path it's on. One Piece just had a release. What was it called? The Best, I think. The Best box, the special box. Those things are like $150 plus now. One Piece, I don't think we're going to be having like massive overprinting anymore with that. I think the box prices are going to be strong on it. What else did I mention? Weiss yet? Weiss is decent. You have a lot of collectors that are into Weiss. So you're just seeing across the board all these different card games kind of trend well. The one that's taken a little bit of a hit has been the new set of Star Wars Unlimited. I don't know a lot about it since I don't carry it, but you're seeing stores sell it cheaper and cheaper. It's kind of like in a free fall right now for the newest set. That was the Old Republic one or whatever it's called. So I'm a little bearish on that. I'm worried, but I think that it's just an issue with a print. I think it's just a print run issue with there. I think just too much of it was printed. But back to Pokemon. I think the next year for Pokemon Magic's got some good stuff coming out next year with the Final Fantasy set. Rumors of serialized cards in there. It should be pretty good. Pokemon is big with the Eevee set that's coming out in January. I've already had dozens of people asking me, to pre-orders or to save them a case of this or a case of that, or they want to know if they can get like 100 ETBs or things like that. You see pre-orders online for these ETBs crossing $100 a box when they should be 50 to 60, right? My gut says this is going to trend similarly to 151, but the market is better now than it was when 151 released. So I think the prices are going to trend very favorably on it. You also have a new Moonbryon in there. And I think this new set, when it got announced, that was sort of the reason. You see the Evolving Skies Moonbryon has increased a lot in price as a single card. And as a result, your Evolving Skies booster boxes have, they've hit about $1,000 a box now, right? And your raw your raw Moonbryons are well over $1,000 now, and you see PSA 10 Moonbryons. I mean, I've seen sales for $2,200. 2226 is like a recent eBay sale. There's been a couple at like $2,200, a couple over $2,000. It seems like the cheapest one listed right now is something like $1,950, which is crazy because 3-4 months ago you were like $1,000 to $1,200 card for a PSA 10, right? And then even before that, it was what, beginning of the year, I think you could get it for like $800 to $1,000 as a PSA 10, and the price run on that thing. Other Evolving Skies product, Evolutions have ran too, but the Evolving Skies Moonbryon, I think, has been helped out a lot by the announcement of this Prismatic Evolution set. And then in addition to Prismatic Evolutions, right, we're looking at a Team Rocket set. We've got some version of a black and white set. We're going to have, team up Pokemon, trainer Pokemon. Pokemon is positioning itself very strongly for 2025. and 2026 is the 30th anniversary. So my gut says Pokemon Company is going to go all out for that. So I think the next year of Pokemon is going to be absolutely insane, and I'm excited to be here for it and, be a part of it as like a store owner and a collector myself. Sorry guys, had to pause the video. Had a shipment for Black Friday show up for the shop, so had to deal with that. But yeah, what I was saying, I think the Moonbryon has been helped, the Evolving Skies Moonbryon has been helped by the Prismatic Evolutions announcement and, the art and everything released on there. It's getting people excited again for just the Moonbryons in general. I mean, if you look at like the Latios team-up card, the expensive one where they're making a heart, I've seen sales for that over 3K recently, and that's kind of went up a lot too, like 30% in value in a couple months span. But going back to general state of the market, like I said, we are clearly in the middle of a bull run. There's a lot of new collectors getting involved. You have a lot of new money coming into it. You have people locking in like their crypto profits. You have some people locking in stock market profits with buying cardboard, things like that. So I think we're in the middle of something really special here. And as far as how long it'll last, nobody really knows, but I think this is one of those things where you try to enjoy it while you can, and you need to understand that the market is different now than it was even 6 months ago, right? You see boxes that earlier this year, they were coming out and sitting online and on TCG Player and on eBay for like 100 to 110 a box, and it just feels like those days are long gone. I mean, you have Scarlet Violet base is like 110 now on TCG Player. You're having sets that never really had a lot of strength behind them, like Paradox Rift was thought of as one of the weaker sets in Scarlet Violet, right? That box is up. Temporal Forces is a good one. I've had to reprice my Temporal Forces booster boxes a couple times in the last 2 weeks here, right? I think they're sitting, as of the making of this video, they're like 142 or something like that, 140 on TCG Player. So that's, they're going up. Despite the reprints, you're still seeing Paldea Evolved and Obsidian Flames kind of hold strong in price. And Obsidian Flames is one where, if you've ever touched Obsidian Flames and opened it or anything like that, you'll know it's a small set. You pull a lot of hits out of it, right? It's just a small set. It's somewhat easy to get the cards you need out of it. There's really one chase card you're kind of on, the big Charizard or bust. And it really doesn't have a ton of, the singles just, they don't have a ton of value yet to them. So to see the booster boxes on those, just all of a sudden kind of, they're trending up. I think they're like 130 range right now, something like that. But it's a box that has been like in the 105-ish range, 1 to 105 for a long time. And I can tell you too, from being a store owner, working with distributors, behind the scenes, the big distributors, they don't have much sealed Pokemon booster boxes left. They're they're running out of everything. One of the bigger suppliers ran out of Scarlet Violet base the other day, and that was like, holy crap. That's kind of, it's kind of amazing. Could you imagine not having any sealed booster boxes of Scarlet Violet base at a distributor level? And that's only the most recent block. You start going backwards to like Sword and Shield or Sun and Moon or XY Evolutions. It gets even crazier. The Sword and Shield base booster box. Last I looked, there were like 3 or 4 booster boxes on TCG Player between it and a $500 price tag. It's like a $350, $360 box right now, and it just keeps trending upwards. And that's not a strong set as far as value goes, but it's an older set at this point. Was it 2021? So it's just one of those things where, where's the top end of it? Is it more than a $500 box? Because at the rate of purchases versus how many are online, the supply is going to be exhausted sooner rather than later on it. And that's something too with Surging Sparks. Doesn't matter where the price is on that thing. I mean, there's still, it's still at the point where it's selling like 100 boxes a day on TCG Player alone. So between TCG and eBay, it's probably moving 150 to 200 boxes a day, right? And you're seeing some boxes get added, but there's not, that amount of boxes being listed to replace it. So the market will eventually exhaust its supply of Surging Sparks. And if there's not a reprint announced within the next 90 days or so, this very legitimately can get, it can hit $400 or $500 a box, right? Once booster boxes kind of, once they're at like the 250-ish range, that's really where pretty much everybody's tapped out. Everybody that is going to sell around that price point has listed theirs. Obviously, you don't have any at the distribution level if it's sitting at that price point, right? So that's one of those things where, like, from there, it's much, much easier to go from like the $250 to $500 or $250 to $1,000 price range than it is to get from like the $1 to $200, right? So Surging Sparks is getting dangerously close to going on a very big run here. And just will they announce a reprint, because a booster box reprint has to come at some point for it, right? I would assume at least. I assume we'll get at least one reprint out of it. It's too hot of a set not to, and prices are going to be too crazy if they don't. So I don't know how well that will satisfy the demand, but I think we are going to get a reprint of Surging. But yeah, going back to like the older blocks, like you're seeing a lot of price movement in Sun and Moon. You're seeing price movement in Team Up, or XY Evolution, or XY Era 2, right? Two ones I want to talk about is earlier this year around June. We were fortunate enough to have a Primal Clash booster box here in store, and around then it was like a $500 box. Somewhat recently, it hit $1,000. So it's just like the double in price there in a couple months span is nuts. And Team Up's really the same way. At the beginning of the year, I had somebody reach out to me and offer to sell me Team Up booster boxes for like $1,800 a box, right? And today, I think they're worth, I know their sales over 3,000 on it, but I don't know if they've hit 4,000 or yet not. But Team Up's a big one. You're seeing Team Up move. You're seeing everything trend upwards, right? So in these times where things are moving up, and like, you have to understand how the market has shifted from even earlier this year. Those cheap booster boxes on release are like waiting for the price to collapse. It's just not going to happen. Even on the Magic side, you're seeing less of stores selling at a loss just to get their product off the books, right? So my advice to anybody looking to get a hold of any new product going forward for like the next 6 months is going to be just get it on release. That's the best you can do. If you can get it, I know some stores offer midnight releases. We do here, things like that are pre-orders. Get what you can. Be wary of doing pre-orders online. I know there's, especially for Surging, it happened a lot, and I'm sure it'll happen too for Prismatic, where stores did pre-orders, they took your money, and then they canceled the pre-orders on you, and they just kind of, keep your money as an interest-free loan. So make sure you're doing pre-orders somewhere reputable with that. And the most important part of this all is make sure you enjoy the hobby. We are entering a different era here with the way this market is going. It's it's going to be different from the last two or so. So just have fun, try to enjoy it, and at the end of the day, again, it doesn't really matter if you paid, like for Surging Sparks, it doesn't matter if you paid $120 a box or $130 a box or $150 a box when that box is $500, right? You're not worried. But if you passed up on the sale because you thought it was going to go down a couple dollars and then it's a $500 box, you're going to feel bad about it. So I think that about covers the Pokemon and Magic side. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not super in tune with sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! I know the specialty sets are still really good, like that Quarter Century Bonanza. We've had 2 stocks of it here, and both times we've had it in stock, we've sold out the day we've gotten it. Outside of that, I think just like the normal sets they're releasing, they still they're in a rough spot. Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami needs to figure out something to do with their booster boxes because they're just not holding value the way they should. The specialty sets, again, they're great. So like Quarter Century Bonanza, that's been great. We talked about it a little bit here in the store in the last week, where a bunch of the Quarter Century singles, they've kind of like doubled or tripled in price out of nowhere. There's some like $5 cards went up to $80 or things like that. So there's definitely been opportunity there too. And then Lorcana just had a new set release, so Lorcana is still doing well. It's a Disney product, Disney collectors, they're always going to be into it. You're seeing set 1 slowly trend upward in price. Set 2 is Rise of the Floodborn. That one is slowly trending upward. Every other set's kind of still in the printing to oblivion mode, so they're trying to keep the prices down. Ursula's Return is the worst offender of that. I think they're down to like $85 a box or something like that. I mean, they're at the point where you can get them right now cheaper than stores could get them from distribution for. So Ursula Returns hurting, but other than that, things aren't bad for Lorcana. And yeah, Pokemon continues to lead the pack on it all. I don't see that changing. I think with the actions Magic has taken in the last couple of years, I don't see a world where Magic overtakes them anytime soon, just because the confidence in the product isn't there with the Magic 30 printing and them breaking the reserve list and all that. And then Magic 2 is truly in the game piece army phase. It's in the game piece phase with everything, where you can't have cool, valuable cards because they're reprinted as like $5.50 cards over and over again. So outside of like these fancy serialized cards or these full art poster cards and collector boxes, your singles aren't really holding their value for Magic. And I think on the collector side of that, and even for the player base, like that hurts long term for the game to be in that position. Pokemon, on the other hand, they somehow strike the perfect balance where it costs you $50 to build a deck if you want to be competitive with it, and you can still, you've got these $100 plus cards in every set too. So Pokemon continues to lead the way. Don't see it changing. I think next year particularly is going to be very, very strong for Pokemon. I think Magic should be pretty strong too with the Final Fantasy set and then the Marvel stuff that's coming out. Beyond that, like I said, just enjoy the hobby, have fun, and understand that we are not in the market that we were, 6 to 12 months ago. Things have shifted. So if you're looking at it from a collecting, investing standpoint, your strategy should be shifting too for that. And as long as you understand that, I think you'll come out the other end of this in a better position, right? Whether it's just to kind of like accumulate, your card collection, or whether you're trying to make money flipping things or whatever for that. Something I do want to touch on too, I think I'll save it for another video, but something I do want to touch on eventually is the current, like, the streaming cultures, Whatnot, TikTok Shop, all that, like the rip and chips. I think that is heavily influencing things right now for the trading card market. You're seeing, especially on the vintage side, lots of vintage product gobbled up on that, so that's driving up vintage box, sealed product prices. But that's a topic that I should save for another video. So I'll talk about that. I'll make a video with that at some point. Just to wrap this up really quick, because this has been kind of going on for a minute now, but I do want to give a shout out to my store. Obviously, I sponsor myself. I'm the only sponsor here, so I got to give a shout out if you're in the Michigan area, especially downriver area. Come check out GameTime Michigan, 18829 Eureka Rd in Southgate. We're in the Metro Detroit area, got a lot of Pokemon product, run tournaments, do cash prizes, stream events, things like that. And we're going to have some pretty crazy Black Friday sales through Cyber Monday going on. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for that stuff. We also we pay out very well on trade-ins. We give at least 50% cash on cards, and we do more for like store credit trades too. So just want to give a quick shout out. my store apparel will be on sale this weekend for Black Friday. It'll be 40% off everything, whether you want a hat or a hoodie or things like that. So I'll be here Friday. I open at 6 a.m. I'll be here till midnight. I'll be here 18 hours. My game plan for that day is I'll have my stream set up so if people buy stuff and want to crack it, they'll be able to stream. But I also kind of want to have, after my initial rush in the morning, I kind of want to flip the stream on and do kind of like a live podcast throughout the day. So, if people come in, I'll help them out. But outside of that, I kind of want to sit around and do like a live stream on Twitch, talk with you guys and everything. And, it'll be some time to kind of like chat with everybody and, interact with people and just talk about cards in general, because again, this is something I've been around here 25 years. I've been in the card industry, owned other card stores in the past, and it's something I'm passionate about. I love this and I'm passionate about it. So I look forward to that. I think it's going to be a crazy weekend. If you're in the area, I hope to see you here for it, and if not, I hope to have a functional sales website. Sorry, guys. Got interrupted with another Black Friday shipment, but I was just wrapping this up anyway. So, in the outro going out, if you can make it to the Black Friday sales, that's awesome. If you can't, hopefully I'm going to have a functional website soon with current products for sale. That's something I kind of want to dive into in the next couple of months, is really getting the growing our building our online footprint for online sales. But quick shout out on the Black Friday stuff. If you're one of the first couple of people in the door, I'll have door prizes for you Friday morning. We're doing some giveaways and things like that too, based on how much you purchase throughout the sale. And I'm not ready to leak any of that yet. I think my Facebook posts are set to go live tonight or tomorrow regarding that. But I think it's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun with it. And thanks everybody for watching this video. If you don't mind, liking it, and if you have any questions, leave a comment, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'd love to see this channel kind of grow. And I'm hoping to get a couple of podcasts in too very soon. I've got some Pokemon collectors lined up I'd love to get on podcast here, so we're getting some things finalized right now with that. But thanks everybody for watching. Have a good one. If you're watching this right when it releases, have a great holiday season. Bye.